Do you love to travel and save money? Or do you wish you could travel but money is holding you back? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Family's Flyfree podcast, where I show you how to fly your family free forever using my simple fly-free formula. I'm your host, Lynn Mettler. My family of four has mastered the art of flying free as simply as possible since 2015, and I want to show your family how to do it too. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Family's Fly Free podcast. I'm Lynn Mettler. So before the Family's Fly Free membership reopens for enrollment, I thought it would be a great idea to just get back to basics for an episode, especially for those of you who are new to travel rewards or even new to my simple approach to travel rewards. And yes, if you feel overwhelmed, travel rewards can absolutely be simple. We have proven it to be true. Today, I'm going to talk you through a 101 of how to use travel rewards to get free travel, to make sure that you have a good foundation before jumping into Family's Fly Free and our simple Fly Free formula. And this might be worth a listen for you, even if you feel like you're more advanced in travel hacking. It might show you that there is a simpler way to do things that actually works better. The first thing you need to know is that you can earn travel rewards, which we can also call frequent flyer miles or loyalty points or rewards points. There's all kinds of different ways to refer to them, but that you can earn these travel rewards without ever having to pay for a flight or a hotel stay. Now, this is counterintuitive because the phrase frequent flyer miles or even loyalty points implies that you have to fly frequently, which usually costs money, right? Or stay frequently. That's usually what loyalty means when we're talking about a business. You have a loyalty card that you get stamped at Subway or wherever you like to eat, every time you go. And when you collect a certain number of stamps, you get a free sandwich. But you're paying for all of those things in order to get the freebies. But the fact is that there are many ways to earn these miles and points without ever paying for flights or hotel stays, because I wouldn't be able to say Families Fly Free if we actually had to pay for the flights in order to earn the miles to book more flights, right? So we're actually not paying to collect these miles either. Now, you can try to cobble together the many different ways there are to earn these miles and points. And there are a lot of different ways, a lot of piecemeal ways, but that's immediately where you can get into overwhelm. Which ways are the best? Should you try to do all the ways? Make sure you don't miss a point anywhere. Should you just do some of the ways? Which ones should you do? That's where having a roadmap to follow is so helpful. So you don't have to try to figure this out from scratch. We've already figured out the best way to accumulate a lot of these miles or travel rewards with ease and do it while being financially responsible. So that leads us to the second thing you need to know about travel rewards, which is how to collect them without flying or staying in hotels. Our preferred method to do this is to choose a couple of carefully selected travel credit cards that will earn you these miles and these rewards when you charge your day-to-day expenses and really any spending that you're going to be doing anyway to these cards. Add to that earning a few bonuses on these cards. Bonuses are big chunks of points that you get all at once when you're first approved for a particular travel card and you meet a minimum spend. That means you have to spend a certain amount of money on that card within typically the first 3 months. Now, if you have hesitations about credit cards, or if you have been exposed to travel hackers who teach you to constantly be opening and closing credit cards to continually earn bonuses, rest assured that is not how I teach it. It turns out you don't have to do that. And in fact, you can earn more miles and points if you don't. That way of constantly opening and closing is way harder, a lot more confusing. And honestly, it's totally overwhelming. I can't tell you how many people come to me that are overwhelmed by having had this experience. For most of the world, though, having more than a handful of credit cards to keep track of is not a great idea, and it's not simple. Some people can do this and they love doing it, and that's their thing, and that's fine. But for most of us, trying to manage a bunch of credit cards is just not a good idea. Now, there's a much easier way to do it, is the good news. So you don't have to forego being able to use miles and points to travel for free if you're not willing to have a boatload of cards. So the easier way to do it is to focus on 1 to 2 cards that do a couple of things. A, earn you the maximum bang for your buck. So those would be cards like the ones that can help you earn the Southwest Airlines Companion Pass. And that pass lets one member of your family never have to pay any points, never have to pay any dollars when they fly with you. So you can see that's a huge bang for your buck there. You're eliminating the cost of one person in your group to fly always. Another thing you can look for is cards, and this is what we believe in this big time, is what we teach, cards that earn flexible points. So that means their points can be used with a variety of airlines and hotel chains too, or even to cover many different types of travel expenses. And these points also typically earn more points per dollar in categories of spending where you're going to be spending more often. So for those of us who travel frequently, that is usually, we're looking for cards that earn higher points per dollar in categories like travel spending and spending on dining. Those are 2 categories that you'll be spending more on if you are traveling frequently. But it can also be categories like groceries and gas and drugstores and your internet bill or your phone bill. What this does not include is cards with a particular airline or a particular hotel chain. Those are only going to earn you points and that can be used with that airline and with that hotel chain. So that's the opposite of what we're saying. We're saying pick cards that earn flexible points that can be used in a variety of different ways to cover travel purchases. So the key switch here is to stop using your debit card and switch to using 1 to 2 travel cards that earn rewards points for every purchase you make. And you can choose to pay that balance every day or every other day, which is what I often recommend, so that the money comes right out of your bank account, just the same as using your debit card. Or you can just pay the balance before the due date every month. Depends on your personal situation, your personality type, and what works best for you. But bottom line, you don't want to carry a balance on these cards beyond the due date because travel cards typically have high interest rates. And of course, you don't want to pay a high interest rate on a balance because then you're not flying or staying for free. Make sure that what you are charging to the card, always that you have money in the bank to pay for it, so you don't find yourself in this situation of needing to carry a balance and pay high interest. So if you can make that switch, you will literally fund your travels through spending you are doing anyway, instead of using your debit card, which earns you nothing. It's just the bank wins on that one. If you can use a travel card, you win instead of the bank. Third, once you collect these points, so we've talked about how you can earn these points, how you can earn them without paying for flights and hotels. Once you've collected these rewards, these miles, these points, you can use them to then pay for your flights and your hotel stays. Now, if you're using points that you've collected with a specific airline or a specific hotel chain, you can go to their site, search for a flight or a room night. Usually you're just going to choose, you want to know the cost in points versus the cost in dollars. Some will let you pay part in cash and part in points. Usually the hotel chains will let you do that. And then you can see how much it's going to cost you in points. And then you can choose to use your points then to book that flight or book that hotel night right there. Now, if you're using flexible points, you can either transfer these points to the individual airline or hotel chain that you want to book and then follow that same process I just talked about. Or with flexible point systems, they typically have a portal, an online portal that operates just like an Expedia or a Travelocity type of site where you can use your points to book many different airlines and hotels. The key is many different ones. So a large variety, which we like that. It gives you really good flexibility and it helps you find, the best price for where you want to go. Maybe you can choose, a particular airline that's cheaper or a particular hotel chain that costs less points, right? And this, you just use your points just like cash and use them to pay for that flight or that hotel stay within their portal. So the third is how you use your points to actually pay for the flights. Okay, the fourth thing I want to bring up when it comes to the basics of travel rewards that most people miss is that you need to employ some techniques to pay the fewest possible points for every flight or every hotel stay that you plan to book in points. So just like you're looking for deals when you're booking your travels, if you're used to just paying out of pocket for everything, you're still going to look for savings. What's the cheapest flight? Can you save a little bit with this coupon code at this place, right? You want to employ that same mindset when it comes to points. How can we pay the lowest possible points price for whatever it is we're trying to book? And when you do that, your points stretch a lot further, which means you can take more trips on the same number of points as everybody else. Most people don't look for or understand how to pay fewer points. They just see a price and that's what they pay. And you can do so much better than that. And that's a big key in helping you to travel more by stretching your points. And we believe when it comes to airlines that Southwest is far and above the best airline that allows you to really, really stretch your points far. Now, Inside Families Flyfree, which is currently closed, but will be opening within weeks. So be sure to stay tuned if you're interested in joining. But Inside Families Flyfree, we teach you the following. We teach you, number one, the handful of cards that we believe you personally need to fly your family for free. Now, which cards this will be may vary based on your travel goals. Maybe you just want to travel once in the next year, or maybe you want to travel 8 times in the next year. And your plans depends on where you're going. It depends on the number of people in your family that need to fly for free, and even your travel style. Do you prefer vacation rentals versus hotels? Do you prefer to fly nonstop, or do you not mind a connection? All these things will factor in. So the cards that we recommend, though, will help you continually replenish your points balance. So you always have points ready to go to fly wherever you want without having to constantly open a new card and get a bonus, right? That's a big, big differentiation. Then second, we show you how Southwest Airlines lets you make the most of your points to fly as many places as possible within their network, which includes the US and the Caribbean and even Costa Rica. So we show you all the different strategies and techniques that you can use, which change over time to pay the fewest possible points for your flight. Third, we teach you a simple way to fly your whole family to Europe using points. And we have a lot of members, including my own family, employing those strategies this summer. It seems that everyone is overseas this summer. So if you're someone who did take an overseas trip and you paid way more than you would have liked to, it's time that you need to figure out how you can use travel rewards to pay for those flights instead. Think of the money you could have saved. Do whatever you want with that money. Invest it, save it, use it for other things, splurge on what your hotel or things that you did at your destination instead of using all of that for flights, right? The international flights or flights to Europe have reached $1,200 round trip average this summer per person. That's crazy. All right. Fourth, we show you how to get the most out of your hotel points. And it's not as easy to stay free as it is to fly free, but you should be able to get some free hotel stays. And our members are doing an amazing job this year of snagging some great hotel stays. Again, we saved $5,000 at a 5-star hotel in Paris this summer. So it can be done. Just don't count on it every single time if you're going to be flying, like us 6 times a year. And then fifth, we show you the best ways to pay fewer points for every flight and every hotel stay so you can stretch your points as far as possible. And that includes teaching you whatever hacks are working the best at the moment in the systems that we teach. So that's what you're going to learn. And trust me when I say this is much easier and so much less overwhelming than trying to collect points with all kind of different airlines and hotel chains and opening a bunch of travel cards and trying to keep track of all the best deals across the different cards and hotels and airlines and just not really knowing what's the best action for you to take. So we have got a process step by step that just works. And we provide you with support, which you're going to need because you're going to have questions along the way. We all make mistakes doing this. We still do. But it so helps when you have someone that you can go to before you think you might be making a mistake to prevent it. Or if you do make a mistake, to have someone help you make the best of the situation and clean it up if possible. So if ever you feel confused or unsure, or you think you might be making a mistake, you have a trusted group of travel experts that you can reach out to. Now, our members have been flying all over the place this summer, just as examples of our system really works well. They have been, before I got on this podcast, I just took a look at our Families Fly Free community. We have an area where people can post their trip reports. And so people will go in and share where they went, how much they saved, and how they used miles and points, and what they did and what they recommend, all that. So we have members who have been to Puerto Rico, who've been to London, Ireland, Paris, Hollywood, the Riviera Maya, Atlanta, Rocky Mountain National Park, Costa Rica, Disney World. That's just a few of them to get you started that I saw when I was doing a quick glance through our trip reports. And in fact, one of our members just got back from London and Dublin, and her guesstimate at savings was a total of $8,600, which is pretty stunning. And that was for 2 people. For a 2-week trip, I believe. But so she beat my $7,500 in savings in Paris. So it is really amazing what you can do when you implement these strategies. So, and talking about implementation, I want you to know that travel rewards aren't a magic bullet. You don't just wave your magic wand and, watch a video and voila, you have tons of travel rewards ready to go, right? You do have to take the time to learn how they work. And if you want to join us, you do have to take the time to learn our simple system on the front end. But we have put it together in such a way that it's step by step. It's a handful of videos that you need to watch. I always say you can watch them on your lunch hour, usually over the course of a week, to get the process in your head. And then the next thing is you have to take action, right? So we can't just go out and learn and then expect it to work. You've really got to make it a priority that you're going to get this to work for your family, and you're going to take the action needed to make it happen. So you've got to actually follow the process. And we see a lot of people who who are able to like start the process, they get that one batch of travel rewards and use them, but then they have no idea how to collect more or that they even can collect more. And that's where we are really good. You literally never run out under our system. And it's really not that hard to never run out is the thing. You just learn the system, you put it in place, and then you put it on autopilot and it just keeps working. So those are the basics of how to collect and use travel rewards to travel for free. I hope that sets you up to get started in this world of travel hacking, or maybe to simplify, what you're already doing, or just to start taking action if maybe you're someone who's tried to dip your toes in and learn but feel overwhelmed up to this point. We are here to make this easy for you. And trust me, it really can be easy. And we want to make it so for you because we want to see as many families as we can get who want to travel to be out there traveling and exploring the world and having these amazing life-changing experiences. So if you would like help by learning our process and getting personal assistance whenever you need it, stay tuned to join Families Fly Free as soon as we open again. Get on our email list at familiesflyfree.com/email so you don't miss when we open, because we're only going to be open for a limited time. And we would love to have you join us as part of this tight-knit group of people who love to travel and who love to get a deal on travel. Stay tuned. Again, we'd love to have you come and join us inside. Okay, everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your week and get in all those last summer trips. If you're ready to fly your family free forever, I invite you to join my Families Fly Free membership. You'll learn how to stop paying for airfare throughout the US, Caribbean, and Europe so you can make those priceless family travel memories before your kids or even your grandkids leave home for good. And you'll learn it using my simple, proven formula that's helped hundreds of families. Plus, it's risk-free. You either get your investment in the membership back in free travel, or I give you your money back. You can get more information at familiesflyfree.com/join.